So now we've fixed the sacral nutation issue, pretty much, and now we're left with the rest of the upslip. And so we're going to address the ilial rotation first, but before we address the ilial rotation, we're going to do a leg pull to try to mobilize that pubic symphysis back down where it's supposed to be. Remember, left side was up, the whole pubic symphysis, PSIS, ASIS, iliac crest were all up on the left by about 1 centimeter, maybe a little bit less now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a leg pull on her left leg. So basically it's up, the whole unit is up, we're going to try to move it back down. So the way a lot of people teach it is a little bit of external rotation and then to do your leg pull mobilization from here. And the issue with that is that if I do this, we're in the open pack position for the hip, and what that's going to do is it's going to mobilize her hip nicely. Where do you feel that? All right, in the hip. Okay, so what we can do is we can close up the hip, and now if I pull there, where are you feeling that?
I feel that more in my back and my sacrum.
More in the back and the sacrum, which is where we want to go. And so if she wasn't, then we can adduct the hip a little bit more and internally rotate it, so closed pack position of the hip. Normally, I'll show you 2 ways. So what we can do is we can take up slack, and then I'm going to just pull just hard enough. It's an impulse, but it's not a very strong manipulation. Go ahead and scoot back. It's enough to move her along the table, but it's not really hard. How much force would you say there? A lot? A little?
No, very small.
Okay. And it might be slightly uncomfortable if that SI joint's been impacted and you're kind of helping it scoot out of there. It might be a little sore, but it shouldn't hurt. So usually I'll do that 2 or 3 times. Close up the hip joint, adduct, internally rotate. I'm also above the ankle, so I don't do a nice ankle manipulation at the same time. And if you get on the skin, it's easier to hold. The other thing you might want to do is if you're not having success, if I block her right leg with my left leg, internally rotate, then I can create a nice relative shear, and that will help you with the mobilization, especially if the person's bigger and you can't move them down the plinth. Okay, go ahead and scoot back just a tiny bit. Okay. Once I do that, I'm going to clear the pubes. And this is called the shotgun. We did this earlier. Go ahead and squeeze. It's called the shotgun because sometimes if they're squeezing, you'll hear a loud pop, and where the pubic symphysis is, the disc is moving, and that's okay. We're not really looking for a pop, but if it happens, then we don't get scared by it. They get scared for a second, but usually I'll tell them what's going to happen or what might happen, and they're okay with it. Okay, so now that we've cleared the upslip, at least in theory, we'll work on the rotation, which was an anterior rotation of the left leg, which is the most common rotation. So usually the dominant leg, which leg would you jump off of if you had to jump off of one leg? Left leg. So anterior rotation of the dominant leg is the most common rotation, ilial rotation. Okay. So anytime we treat ilial rotation, we're going to put the stuck side up. So the side that's not moving properly, we'll place the stuck side up in the air.
Pause.